U.S. and she's in her maybe early 20s, something like that, and she got stuck in the Grand Canyon and her phone ran out of battery, and she was stuck there until she died, because she couldn't look up the map and find out where she's at, even though the next town was just like a mile away,
Hmm.
right? A very, very famous story that, I always tell people, you gotta stay native. You gotta stay with your basic instincts because technology, I mean, come on, think about it. Like how
It's not
how weak
always
the
there.
infrastructure.
Yeah.
It's not always going to be there, and how weak the infrastructure is going to be. I even thought a while. I was really obsessed with this idea for a while. I even thought, I wonder if it's worth it. Like when you're selling a product, you show people what to do when this product is non-functional. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like if you're selling people, I don't know, if you're selling people microwaves, you should also show them what the alternative is with natural resources. But who would do that? Like business will say we don't see the value prop in that, and then they'll just kind of, you know what I mean? So
Hmm.
it, it's
Yeah.
it's it's kind of it's kind of disappointing, right?
Hmm.
Um, I was trying to find uh, the incident. It's a very famous incident, right? She died in a triple digit heat. And I think, yeah, there it is. So basically, let's see. However, getting into the remote area of the park is a challenge as there is no water, gas, food, Wi-Fi, or service. Yeah, it's not even this one. I think there was another one. Um, she just ran out of battery, and she basically, um, she decided, well, I don't have battery in my phone, therefore I'm done. Like I have no chance of
I,
surviving.
I see this like my son, he's 7, and we
Uh-huh.
go for a road trip like for a
Mm.
couple of hours that's full of mountain views and everything. And if
Yeah,
his phone runs out, or if the phone runs out of batteries, like he can't do anything. He can't look outside. Like
it's
it's now,
over.
yeah,
Yep, it's over. I don't know,
it's
man. I
crazy.
mean, somehow we're still like I grew up in the early 90s, and I saw what the world looks like without being connected all the time to the internet,
It was
right?
very
I
nice.
saw I was very conscious seeing the world without internet, and I've seen the world with 3.5 kilobits per second internet, right?
Hmm.
So it was just a thing on the side. You just start a download, then you go take a shower or go to the grocery store or something, right? Um, so a lot of the things that we used to see, it's just going away. I don't think people even enjoy being outside anymore. They want this continuous stimulation that comes
Exactly.
from these devices, right? And these days, if you want to punish a kid, you don't have to do anything. Just cut the Wi-Fi. If you cut the Wi-Fi, they'll lose their minds. They'll be like, that's it. That's the worst thing that ever happened to me ever. So,
Yeah.
it's just different time. And I also imagine a world where, there will be a generation of people that just are so attached to technology that they just can't live without it. I mean, we're already there. I mean, we're already cyborgs in a
Hmm.
way. Like, we have our phones in our hands. I mean, I personally just toss my phone in the office, in my office here, and it just goes somewhere. But there are places where you want to stay in the know. You want to, just in case someone needs help or anything like that. It becomes quite a bit of challenge.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't know. I know. I think you did see this. I was playing with AI recently, and then I stumbled upon this amazing program that basically it takes your voice and it takes your image, right? Yeah, an existing video, and it translates it into any language you want, and it even mimics your mouth movement, which is wild, right? Like, I don't
Yeah.
speak. I don't speak Dutch. I don't speak Japanese. I don't speak Italian or Polish or Portuguese or any of that. And yet, if I put something like, let's see here, if I put something like Italian, for instance, it does look so much like if I am, let's see, would it allow me to share? audio though. That would be pretty cool. Let's see. You tell me if you can hear the audio. Okay, so here's that. Can you hear the audio?
No.
Oh, that's a shame. I don't know why it wouldn't let me share audio on a smaller window. That's weird. But generally it does. Like, okay, entire screen, window, Chrome tab. Oh, it would only let you share audio if it was on a Chrome tab. Ah, lame. Anyway, it's a crazy system. Actually, I might be able even to do it on a Chrome tab. Hang on. So Hygen. So the system is called Hygen. It's a pretty cool system. I saw a dude translating things. You can even select characters or upload your own character. They have the labs, there are things that under experimentation, and I translated it into all these different languages. So it picks up an existing video and it tries to mimic the language. So tell me if you can hear, let's see, let's pick up Italian. Where is Italian? Here it is. Tell me if you can hear this one then.
No.
No, you still can't hear it?
No.
Hang on. Why is that? So Chrome tab, oh, I have to say Chrome tab specifically. Okay, how about
Il
now?
software di tutto il
Yes.
benvenuti.
Listen to this
Se sei
craziness.
nuovo nell'industria tecnologica, in metà carriera o nel settore da un decennio, hai
That's
Can you
un'opportunità di
amazing.
tell?
libro gratuito The
Uh,
Standard.
Can you tell the
Lo
difference?
standard è
It's
una
so real.
raccolta di idee e
I
modelli,
think an
teorie e
Italian should judge
principi per
this, but
migliorare la
like
tua
I
abilità.
personally think it's purely Italian. Like I don't know.
I asked a friend of mine. I actually, well, you do know Kailu. I asked Kailu about this. He said I could understand quite a bit of it. The one that's in Hindi that kind of blew people's minds. I also Spanish. Like I asked a bunch of people about the Spanish version. They were mind blown. They said that's
Si
very
eres
scary.
nuevo en la industria tecnológica o tienes una carrera de clase media, te invito a ver el libro de código abierto gratuito Ad Standard.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
that
crazy.
that's wild. Now check out if I go to Japanese. Let's try Japanese. Check this out.
皆さん、こんにちは。これは世界中のソフトウェアエンジニアに向けた招待状です。テック業界の新人やキャリア中盤、10年以上の経験者にも無
Wow.
Bro, that stuff is wild. Very, very wild stuff. I don't know what to tell you.
I was
It,
I know like can be running out of time, but I was watching the other day an episode of Black Mirror.
yeah, Black Mirror. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Where basically based on the information they collect from the phone and your browsing history and everything, they go and create an episode in a Netflix like app, right?
I saw that. I
It's
saw that.
crazy.
And
And
then the
yeah,
show itself has another layer, and then
yeah,
the
yeah.
next show has another layer. Spoiler alert for people who watch this. It's like many layers underneath. Yeah, it's oh man. Oh man, that's just yeah, and then you get to the action. They get to the actual actor, the actual person. So it's from an actress to an actress to an actress, and then you actually
Mm.
get to the real person. Oh man, that's just weird. It's but it's not far-fetched, right? I don't know what
No,
happened to this. It's not
yeah,
far-fetched. Like you see it right now. I just showed you, right? Like I never said these words. I never did any of that. All it took it is just 60-second video, and within 2 minutes it generated in every language out there, which is amazing for someone like me because I want to reach as many people as humanly possible. So if there is a tool that can allow me to spread the message and bring people up to look at the standard and learn about the standard, I've done my job, man. I promise you, if you have a good message and you're trying to spread it out there, now AI just makes it so much easier. So anyway, let's pick up where we left off. So here is uh, the standard entity intelligence. Let me increase the screen res here real quick, and let's just see where we are um, in terms of this project. Let's see here. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff they're gonna, kind of play around with and see what we can do. The most important thing that I was just talking to someone about this today, and I told them, uh, more important than reading about AI, try things out because anybody can say anything. Anybody could just come in and say, well, AI now can do blah blah, but have you actually tried it? Because if you try it, it's a completely different experience.
Mhm.
Okay, and as far as I remember, you and I were still cleaning up some of the data services and all that, and we said this data query service, and we said we're gonna call it data service, right?
Then
Something like.
before that, Hassan, did you get latest? Because I added the schema model last time.
Let me
Um,
get latest. So I
yeah,
see the last. I see the last thing here that was Kailu, and then you.
yeah, that's me. So basically, we said we will call the model schema, right?
That's right.
And replace that the enumerable table schema with just schema.
That's right. So you have
Yeah.
schema and IEnumerable. That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect. So
Okay,
now we
so
need that schema to be the return type or something like that
it
of
is the
this.
return type. Now, if you go to the service,
Nice,
yeah.
nice, nice. Thank you for doing that. This is perfect, man. Okay, so that builds, and then let's run all the tests. It's just taking time for no reason. See, this is what happens. You beef up your computer, and then things are not slow anymore. They either just completely crash like it just did, or they work blazingly fast. But there is no in between. Kind of miss the days when it just kind of was slow. You know what I mean? Let's try it this
Consistent.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, consistency, right? All right, and all of these, so you actually made it happen. Nice. Thank you for doing this. So that's the schema part, right? So now what's left here? What's really left is for us to go and say, let's change this to be datas, right? So on that query, this will be the biggest code drop we've ever done, literally, because we try to keep things simple and small. Uh, so this should be called really just called data service because all that it's really doing is that it's executing and getting data as far as I understand it. So we have the AI service, the schema service, and then we need a data service. Yeah, that makes sense. So let's do that. Because what's your what's the executable? What's the function that we're trying to call here? The function is called run query. We could call it and then you're returning an IEnumerable of result row,
I,
right?
I think we should do the same thing, returning one model here called result or like data, maybe.
Data. Yeah, I agree. So run query with a query and then it returns data, right? Not even run query. We could go and say, um, we can go and say something like get data async or retrieve data async, right?
Mhm.
So it stays consistent with the model, right? Let's do this quick cleanup. This is a good problem to have. So I will go here and say retrieve data async like that, and then I'm gonna change all of this at the top to datas, okay, which automatically means instead of data queries, it will be datas. Rename the world, so that takes care of that. Yeah, it's datas all over the place. We also shouldn't inherit more than one, so this is just something I'm cleaning on the side. Perfect, and then this will be data service. So this is data service. I do like that we're taking the time to just make sure things are at least somewhat consistent. Now I can call this data service. Unfortunately, the Alt Control Shift rule doesn't apply to file naming conventions, which is a shame, but here we are. So this is data service, and this is also data service. Now let's change the actual language. Yeah. data service. Okay, so now let's change the language itself. So this is no, this is good. All of this is good. Why didn't nist? Is it because we chose the nesting to be not web? Yeah, there you go. That's much cleaner. There you go. So this is data service, service exceptions and validations. Let me go clean up um, the interface, the testing side of it. So this is, instead of queries, it will be datas, which means that these tests and all the nested files will be just datas like that. And that means that this is data, is just data service. Go. I don't think we have anything that's calling the data service not just yet. Do we? I think we do. We have an orchestration. No, we haven't done any orchestration yet, so that's fine. That's healthy. That's good. Now I just need to change the names for these files as well. Data, also data service. Yeah, it changed all of them. Nice. Okay, so that's data service. That means we also need to change the exceptions on these. So I'm going to go up to the models in here and change data queries to datas. And then inside each and every one of these, instead of queries, I'm going to call it datas, name across the board. So that means all of these are good. Fantastic. Now we just need to take away the query part. Here we go. There's a ton of these in here, but I think we can make it work. I like how that they just drop down the list, so I don't have to look for them. They just pop up at the top. That's perfect for me. I don't know. Monk was saying something about this the other day, but I totally forgot. He was saying about how you can rename all these files at once. I don't remember what was the way, but he said there's a particular way for it.
I think he mentioned something about nesting, right?
Oh yeah, he said if they're nested and you change, yeah, that's right. That's exactly what just happened with, yeah, that's right. So invalid data exception. Okay, we already have this guy. Then what is invalid data query exception then? Interesting. What was that before? Let's see. So we deleted something called invalid data exception, and then there's invalid data query exception. That's odd. What does invalid data do? Invalid data exception. Should throw dependency validation exception. We'll find out soon. So, and then there is invalid operation data exception, and then in null or empty data query exception. Okay. I think that's okay. So let me just rebuild this world real quick. And then let me run the tests one more time. Okay, so this is all clean and good. Okay, so this is code rub, change data query to data, to just data. Now we need the model part. Do you want to do the model part? The
Sure.
one model
Sure.
return? Okay,
Yes.
cool.
Yep.
So let me push this, Omar.
Mhm.
All right, it's all yours now. Okay, here we are.
Okay.
Mhm.
So under models, let's see here. Close this. Foundation, datas.
Yeah, we would need like a data model or something like that.
Yeah, so we'll have just data, right?
Yeah, just data.
And it will
Right.
have a kind of a group of result row. I'll keep result row for now.
What's inside result row?
Result row is
Enumerable. Yeah, so throw away result rule and just call it data. If you just rename, oh, we are returning,
a list of this. A
yeah,
list of
yeah,
this.
yeah. That's a good thing. So this is just a list, so a list of lists basically, right?
Mhm. What's the shortcut you use for header? Yeah, here. Okay.
Control period, yeah.
So should I still keep it like we can simplify it by having the data, like having the list of list here,
Call it column group data.
here.
No. The
Oh,
result
this one.
row.
Yeah.
Column group data. Yeah, so there's column data, column group data, and then there's the actual data. Okay, cool. Yeah, so that would be, yeah, that would be, well, the property would be column groups, right?
Oh, yeah. So
Mhm.
here. Okay. So services, data service. So this guy here should return data.
Mhm.
Kind of
Mm.
it's a namespace. Why? It's datas. Why it's name?
Datas. Oh, it's namespace because of the, because you see how we
Oh,
say
here.
standard AI data? Mm.
Hmm.
How do we solve this? We give it an alias. You know how to do that? So go do control minus. I'll show you. It's really easy. Yeah, put data in here and I'll show you what to do.
Okay. Yeah.
If you want, we could rename the model. No, we don't have to. Just type using at the top, type using, and then standard AI all the way.
Oh,
Standard.
yeah.
Yeah, just alias it. Bro, just
Uh,
do control period. Control D on the line above it. Like go to the line above it and just type control D. Why it's not
not
working
working.
for you? Control D should copy it. Okay, fine. Control C, control V.
Yeah.
That's weird. Control D should have done it for you. Okay,
Yeah.
so and then you just type in .models.data. So you type in .data in there after datas.
After datas, yeah.
Yeah, .data. Yeah, just type it anyway, and then I think you just say equals and then to call it data result.
Data result.
Result,
Yep,
yeah.
I never
Or,
actually used this here.
oh, give me a second. C# namespace. I rarely use it, but it's either equal or as or something like that. Space. Oh, you put the new name ahead first. No. You don't need a variable. You just put the new name ahead before, like after you say using,
Mm-hmm.
type in data result
Mm.
and then equals, I think.
Oops.
Oh, what happened? Yeah,
Okay,
that's it.
like that.
So yep. So now pick up that data result and put it in there. Now you kind of worked your way around. There you go.
Ah. Mm.
It's wild. Control KD will clean things up for you, and then Control KE, and then it
Yep.
gets rid of all of these unnecessarily.
So I should put
Same,
it here as well,
yes,
right?
same thing here. Yep.
Yeah. Data result. Okay. let's see, the try catch, I think we should rename it also, this function here, returning data results, I'll call it.
Yeah.
Returning.
While you're doing that, Nazir said, says Hassan, in the last session you talked about SPAL. Yeah, standardized provider abstraction. Like Nazir, in essence, you should be able to switch from SQL to Oracle to MySQL without having to rewrite any code. So the idea here is that to switch the provider, because it's abstracted behind an abstract library, and you're not writing any code, you don't have to rewire anything, you don't have to rethink any exceptions. And just to understand, Nazir, like the standard in its essence is trying to implement the three ultimate forms of abstraction. These forms are abstraction from the provider, that's SPAL, abstraction from the framework, that's FAL, and the last one, if you saw from the last Ask Me Anything session, language abstraction. So people are not tied up to any particular programming language. There's a standard language that can map into Java and Scala and Python and all that. So there needs to be one standard language that sticks to the primitives and everything else maps out of it. These are the three main things. And then from a Agni, you're not gonna need it perspective, more often than ever, the cost of switching providers is extremely high, that you start realizing, oh my God, we should have architected and designed this better, especially from the get-go, and especially if it's the same effort you need when you are developing any library. SPAL is way advanced for our industry. SPAL is very, very important. The standard community haven't come up with something to resemble that, although that I know Christo was talking about the other day. He talked about some implementations that could be a great example for SPAL, but we'll see. I need to give this a little bit more time, I guess. We'll wait for this project to wrap up, and then we'll give some of these issues more attention. I hope that answers your questions.
So basically here I'm changing the
Yep.
mapping function called
Yeah,
to
it's
data
perfect.
results.
Yep. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I want to do.
Yeah, what is
We're
it?
just
Yeah.
unifying the model. It makes a lot more sense this way. I like it. I like it a lot.
I think I messed up the. So there's this one here.
Well, you have these colors. You don't have blue closing squiggly yet. So put a squiggly.
Yeah. Where here? This
You
one?
you want to take
No.
we'll take away the semicolon. Take away the
Oh, yeah,
semicolon,
yeah. There is one blue squiggly and
and then there's another one. Just keep throwing squigglies at it until it stops. No, you still need a parenthesis and then a semicolon.
in here.
Yeah, parenthesis and then semicolon, and then take away that extra parenthesis on line 40, 43, 44. Yep, take that guy out. Perfect. Now what does it want?
So this. I think this is not needed here.
Are
Oh
you
no, it
sure?
is needed.
Oh no, you don't need it. That's right.
So yeah.
So what's that? This is, oh, you need a no, I lied to you. 44 needs a closing parenthesis.
Here. Okay.
That's it. Control KD should line things up. And also because this is a multi-liner, you should probably scope that method. That method that says to data result.
Here.
Yeah, you should put
Uh,
a scope because it's a
but
multi-liner, right?
it is a multi-liner, but I'm just returning just one object here. It doesn't.
I know, but it's many lines. That object is taking multiple lines, right? So it
Yeah,
needs a
okay.
return statement.
Okay.
Yeah. So here's a return, and then, yep,
Okay.
cool.
So I just want to build and see what I broke.
Nothing broke.
Yeah, should be good. No, actually, yeah,
Oh,
there's
it
some.
was just 7 of them.
I
It's
think the unit
everywhere.
test.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
unit
Yep.
test. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Let me bring this magic thing.
Yep.
Okay. Data results. Yeah, of course. This is another file.
Hmm.
Okay. So why this is? Oh
Because you
yeah,
have an await. Yeah.
data result.
Yep. Just be aware you still have to do the yeah.
Yes.
Look at that. Look at that. Windows V magic. I love it.
Actually, there is one for Visual Studio specifically.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I never used that. I saw maybe you posted on
It was
LinkedIn
me.
one
It
time.
was me.
Yeah,
Yep.
which is good. You know, you don't want to share your copy history
Exactly.
to everyone, right?
If you
Yeah,
want something very specific to the code that you're working with,
exactly.
it's not gonna store anything from outside of that context. It's pretty wild, actually.
Yeah,
I don't know which one came first, honestly, because sometimes Visual Studio, the div will come up with something, and then Windows
Windows
would catch
follows.
up. Yeah, so
Yeah, Windows has been there for like 3 years, maybe.
there's this Copilot now in Windows, like all UI, all AI based.
I saw it. I haven't used it yet.
I haven't even enabled it. I used to be signed up to the Insider Edition, but then it started to bug down my machine, so I got a new machine and I stopped using it completely.
Hmm. Okay,
Hmm.
so here it says expected retrieve result rows to be collection, but it was a standard. Ah, okay.
Because of your
So
dynamic. Mm,
yeah, yeah. So this one, the where is the execute here? This one
mm.
to retrieve column metadata. What is this?
This is coming from this guy,
Um,
and that guy is coming as a dynamic. So
oops, second. So retrieve
so it's
result
saying you
rows.
return data, but
Yeah, this one here, retrieve result row. It's yeah, it is returning data result.
right. Maybe
Oh, okay, okay,
in
okay.
here, in here. Yeah,
The
your expected is
expected.
different. That's
Yeah,
right.
okay, yeah, okay. Data result.
So that would be expected data result, and then you basically
Yeah,
pass this collection. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. It needs now to. I need to put it
and an object.
in an
I think.
object. New data result.
Uh,
Bring everything here and say columns like this.
Nazir says, "What do you guys do for a living? What do we do for a living, Omar? How do we like?
Um,
What do we do? We do stuff.
I do stuff. Lots of meetings. I just come here to code a little bit.
It's Nazir. It's mostly meetings all day, and then this is our chance to actually write some code. We don't work for open source, just so you understand. We work on open source projects, but we don't work for open source. Open source doesn't pay us money, so this is mostly for fun. Just a bunch of people that like to build things for fun, and this project is for fun. There's no actually even my YouTube channel is mostly just for collecting charity and stuff like that. But it is a great chance for people who are seasoned in the industry that now are mostly part of meetings and stuff to actually kind of um, continue to improve their skill sets and learn about standardization and all that. So these projects will always keep coming. There will always be a project, something we're working on. I don't mind if we're even going to work on a calculator, as long as it just keeps you it's like going to the gym. Basically, Omar and I go to the gym every night, except that it's being viewed by like 13,000 people. That's
I
really the
also,
essence of it.
I also need to go to the real gym.
We, I really do, brother. If you're around here, I would go. I told Kailu, let's just go to the gym, man. And he's like, all right, that'll need some planning. When someone says that'll need some planning, you know that this is not a good start. You know what I mean? Is it my turn? Okay, let me take this. Okay. So, yeah, planning. Let's do some planning for it. All right, let me run these tests real quick and just make sure. Okay, so it's all good. Looking at the data service here, yeah, we're returning a data result. Now let me just run a code cleanup real quick. We have 9 things. There's code rub, code cleanup. That takes care of that. And then I think I saw this act, assert, whatever. Let me fix that real quick. Act. Yeah, there you go. I think it's only just in one file. I think he just forgot. So this is arrange. So if you do Alt Shift period, it will find them all. Did you know that one, Omar? So I can say
Yeah.
given, right?
Mhm.
And then I can find all the ones that are, this is not gonna work because of the,
Tricky.
but I can do this, right?
Mhm.
When, right? And then this one would be then. There you go. So that cleans up this part. Let me just do one more thing. Act. What is it? Act, assert, arrange,
Arrange, act,
arrange.
assert. Yeah.
I'll never remember these things. This is why I don't use it. I can't remember it. It's very hard. Okay, one more cleanup for the root. Here we go. And then I'll just say code rob, use given, when, and then. Okay. Anything else, Omar? I think this is okay.
I think we should start the processing service. If we see something along the way, we can fix it.
Sounds good. We could start the processing service tomorrow for sure. But
That's
I
fine.
wanted to kind of just take a look at this code one more time over here. Let's go here on GitHub. Community intelligence. Here's a PR. Gosh, how big is this PR? Man. 16 commits, about 60 files, and 500 changes. I mean, you know what this means in here? Like when the numbers are almost similar, we basically rewrote everything. That's what it's saying, basically. You rewrote everything, right? I don't think we rewrote everything, but I think it sees a new file that is being created as an
When we
entire
renamed,
rewrite.
when we
Yeah,
renamed it deletes, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Cool, cool. This is very nice and very clean. Okay, man, I'm merging this in. And then we could start tomorrow on building the data processing. So this will be a breeze. Data processing service will just be super quick. Like from now onwards, now that we kind of got over this little bump, on the road with the getting the queries and working with usually foundation services are most of the work. Like foundation services grunt work. Processing service uh, is some grunt work, but some brain work. Orchestration services for sure our brain work. And then here's the crazy part. You know how I always say there is, body, mind, and soul. There's the tri nature of things. The front end is all soul work. You're trying to build delightful experiences. You can't really get to it through the brain or through the grunt work. You have to imagine and experience. Software is just amazing. Whichever way you look at it, it consumes all the powers that you may have. Okay, my dear friend, I'm done with my TED Talk. Talk to you tomorrow.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you so much, Omar. Take care.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.